I'm Joshua Bardwell, and you're going to learn something today. I've got some more receiver module testing for you. I've got some new receivers, and I've got a new way of gathering the data. Again, I just keep... Another one? Yeah, I keep trying to make it better, because I want you guys to get the best possible results that you can get. So when you guys say, oh, I couldn't see, there was glare on the screens. Oh, the DVR drops frames, it's not accurate. Bruce from UBAD, I'm talking to you. On one hand, I'm like, screw the haters, but on the other hand, I'm like, well, they're kind of right. And then I go and I try and make it better. But I hate it because I just want to finish the job and make the video and get it out. But I keep having to go back and do it better. But here's what I got. Here's what I got for you today. You're going to love this. I've got the TrueRC V3.7. I've got the Rapidfire. I've got the Aomway Commander V2. Yay! I've got the Clearview ground station, and some of you are going to say, why are you have the Clearview ground station and not the Clearview module? And the answer is that Clearview took my module because it was screwed up, and they haven't given it back yet, so we got the ground station. And some of you are also going to say, wait a minute, aren't you supposed to have two of the same antenna on the Clearview? And the answer is, yes, you can use it that way, but you can. Clearview has revised their recommendation, and in the kind of situation we've got today, probably the best way to use it is with the mixed antennas as we're doing here, which is also the same way we've got the Rapidfire set up. Okay, I've got the Laforge V4, and this is the 4.2. This is the latest firmware as well. It's whatever's the latest. I think it's 4.2. And I've got the Achilles Pro on the Eachine Pro 58 module, and this is not the latest firmware. This is V1.0 firmware, and they're up to like V1.8, and the reason that I don't have the latest on there is because you need a weirdo STM programming adapter to program it. I don't have it, and I ordered it today, but I didn't want to wait 3 days for it to come in the mail to do this testing because, as you can see, this was a lot of work to set up, and I can't always wait. So, you know that this is not on the latest firmware, and if you don't like that and you think it makes the results invalid, just ignore them. Just forget it. I'll do another test in a week when I think of some other way to make it better. So then, what is in this box? That's the next part of the test. It is this. This is the Eachine the Lumenier DX600 DVR. And why am I using this DVR? The reason I'm using this DVR is that thanks to Sander Sasson from OwlRC, I know that this DVR keeps the video perfectly synced. So the video won't go out of sync like the FATSHARK DVR does when you get into areas of breakup. Here we go then. We're taking off and we are at 50% speed as I usually do because I feel like it lets you get a better sense of where the breakup's happening. If you don't like that, go back down in the lower right and set the playback speed to 2x, which will make it normal speed. And there you go. The transmitter is an OwlRC Tramp, and it's at 200 milliwatts, and the antenna is a Strix Ready-Made RC Hoot antenna. Thanks to Ready-Made RC for providing those. And here we are, doing a little freestyle, just getting up high. You'll notice that we are using the DVR in this. I also have the live camera. I wanted to get you guys right to the results, but at the end of this video, I'm going to show you the comparison between the DVR and the live camera and show you why I chose to stick with the DVR here. Here we go into the hardest part. Commander V2 seems to be dropping out first. Achilles Pro, TrueRC Laforge are kind of neck and neck. Clearview and Rapidfire, are they doing best? Clearview, I don't think it's going to be real controversial to say that Clearview really hangs in and does the best. We're going to go up into this little back area of my property and do some circles hanging out in this area where the coverage is really bad. Look at whose screen, not just who is breaking up, but also who is stuttering and juddering and who's moving smoothly. They're all kind of stuttering a little bit. Who's breaking up the most? I don't know. I'm seeing everybody kind of drop out a lot. I haven't seen Laforge have like a full black screen yet. I saw TrueRC, I saw Commander. Achilles is doing pretty good. I don't know. If you really want to be scientific, you should just mute this and go watch it yourself. Watch it on slow-mo, like this is 50% speed. Watch it freeze frame. Even what you can do is you can kind of zoom out, sit way back across the room so you can see all 6 screens in your eye line easily and look for which one's breaking up the most. I can tell I've spent a lot of time thinking about this. Clearview and Rapidfire, as in my previous testing, Clearview and Rapidfire really seem to be edging out everybody else. As for the others, Laforge, TrueRC, Achilles, and Commander, I think that one is a lot harder to call.
it's a lot harder to call, and which one you think is doing the best is probably going to depend a little bit on which one you own. No comment. You see, like, there's always times when one looks better and the other looks worse, depending on when you freeze frame. It's very, very hard, I think, to get a consensus as to which consistently does better. I think it would require a lot of studying, and that's why I'm giving you this wonderful data that you can pour into it as much as you want. I don't really have a horse in the race as to which one wins. Yeah, so when it's close, I don't really feel a need to call it. I like Rapidfire and Clearview are just pretty clearly winning, I think. But for the others, I don't know. It got me in trouble with my Butterflight review. You know, that whole tendency of if it's not just a night and day difference to kind of not call it. But there you go. Well, that's going to be the end of this run. I'm going to do a run down the road, just a straight out and back range test. Let's take a look at that next. Here we go then. I'm just going to fly down the road, and we're pretty much going to be on the patch antenna, the whole, well, it's not a patch, it's a crosshair. It's TrueRC X-Air. We're pretty much going to be exclusively on the crosshair antenna, the directional antenna for this whole thing. If there's any diversity switching, it's just going to be random bounces. So this is mostly a test of the sensitivity of the module, not so much the diversity performance and not so much the ability to filter multipathing and so forth. It's really just mostly raw sensitivity. And here it's interesting to see, I mean, Clearview is definitely hanging in there the best. Just it's notable for, even when it gets all fuzzy, for keeping a relatively clear screen. I saw a little screen roll there on Laforge. Rapidfire is struggling a little bit to stay in. We see TrueD is kind of staying in. Everybody is really struggling here. Again, and now right here in this section, man, Rapidfire is just totally black for a big chunk. Even when, like, you see Achilles Pro and TrueD coming in and out. And it's very strange. I've gone back and I've looked at this again and again. I can't really figure it out. We know from its design that Rapidfire should have better sensitivity than these other modules, and I can't really explain why in this one circumstance it had that big long period where it was blacked out. Was it just like some unlucky bounce or something? I don't know. Let's go try again. And as we go back and out for another run, Joshua from the future here to tell you, I spoke with OwlRC, and they say that the reason for this big black sequence was because the firmware that's on my module has a tendency to hang on one antenna a little bit too much under certain conditions. And what they think is happening is that it's staying on the Omni antenna, and it's not diversity switching over to the patch. This is something they say they've identified, they're aware of, and it is fixed in the production firmware, but they were not the utility that flashes the firmware over USB is the last thing they're making. They just flash the firmware over their custom funky programming adapters. So I couldn't update my firmware to the latest for this test. Bottom line is they say that that's a bug in the firmware on my module and that it will be fixed. And once I get that firmware, you know I'm going to test it and I'll let you know. And as we finish up this flight with just a little bit of freestyle, don't forget, I'm going to show you the comparison, the side-by-side between the live screen and the DVR, and why I feel like with this Lumenier DX600 DVR, it is okay to use the DVR and not just the live screen, whereas the FATSHARK DVR, we know it has problems. And you may have heard some people say, anytime you see a DVR comparison, it's garbage. Bruce from UBAD. Yeah. But I'm going to show you why I feel okay using the DVR here. I also want to remind you, tests like this are a lot of work. I probably got about 3 days where I did basically nothing but this. And if you think that's a lot of time and this shouldn't have taken that long, trust me, it's because I've had to redo it several times to try and get the results exactly right and really good. You can help make that all worthwhile by supporting me, by using my affiliate links. Links to all these products are down in the video description. Using those affiliate links to buy these products or any product supports me, and it doesn't cost you anything. You can always become a member of my Patreon. I have a Patreon. There's a link down in the video description if you want to become a member there. Support me with a couple bucks a month. I sure do appreciate it. Let's go then look at the DVR and tell you why I feel like DVR is a good thing to use here. What you're looking at here is the exact same screen that we were looking at, but on the left half of each screen, you've got the live recording of the screen. So this Lumenier DX600 DVR has a screen that shows the video input at the same time that it's being recorded by the DVR. And as you saw, I aimed a camera at them. I put a blanket over it so there would be no glare on the screen, so everything would look as good as it could. And I've synced them all up. So as I play it forward, you can see. Yeah, so we can compare the DVR on one side with the live screen on the other and see how the breakup compares between them. And what I want to show you is that the breakup in the DVR on this Lumenier DX600 DVR almost exactly matches what we're seeing on the live screen. So just by coincidence, I freeze framed it here. There's a breakup on the Laforge, and I'm going to make this footage that you're looking at right now available to you so you can, for those of you who are nerds like me, you can pick it over in as much detail as you want. But you may look at something and go, aha, but look, the Laforge has got this big, horrible tearing, and there's nothing on the live screen. That's because they're not exactly synced to the frame. I'm going to go frame forward here and watch what happens on the left side. Boom. See here, we're starting to see the same breakup, right? And what we see is that anytime there's breakup on the right side, the DVR, there's a very similar, not always identical, but very, very similar breakup on the live screen. And usually it looks like the live screens are just 3 or 4 frames behind the DVR. So let's just play forward again. Here we've got a breakup on the TrueD. And here's that exact same breakup right here. Okay, and I haven't rehearsed this, by the way. I'm just showing you guys what I mean. I've been through this file several times, looking at it with a fine-tooth comb, so I kind of know what the results are going to be. If we keep playing forward, you can see just intuitively that the breakup is very similar between them. I'm going to go freeze frame just a little bit more in a second. Hang on, let's skip forward to where it gets really bad as we go behind go into here. So here we've got a big breakup here and similar breakup. Okay, in fact, this is going to get so bad it's going to be hard to pick out individual aspects of breakup. But here we've got a really bad frame on the right on the TrueD, and there, the exact same really bad frame in the DVR. Again, the DVR is I just haven't perfectly synced them, and that's why they're not appearing at the same time. But you can see that for every one where there's a really bad frame in the DVR, there's a corresponding similar frame in the live video. So I'm just going to play a couple ahead. Let's just pick a frame here. Here the Achilles is having a really bad frame. But the left side is clear. So does that mean the screen is better? No, because watch 1, 2, 3, boom, here it comes, boom, there it is. And in fact, it's really clear if you spend as much time looking at this as I have, that they really are like almost identical. Here you can see we've got this like white line here. Let's see, and we see the exact same white line here. So the DVR is really showing just exactly what the screen is showing, down to just down to a very fine detail. And that's not true for the FATSHARK DVR. Let's find another piece of breakup just to really convince ourselves. Oh, see here, got a big screen breaking up here in the DVR. 1, 2, 3, here it comes, 4, boom, there it is. Yep. So the Lumenier DX600, when I actually have gone over these results again and again and again, as to whether I should show you guys the live screen or the DVR. And some people would say, you gotta show the live screen. It's the only way to really know what the pilot is seeing. And for the FATSHARK, I would definitely say that's true. But I've convinced myself that the DVR for this DX600 is showing pretty much exactly what the screen is showing. And you guys can dig through this, and if you want to try to find any discrepancies, you're more than welcome to do that. There's a link to this raw file that we're looking at right now down in the video description. That is going to bring us to the end of this video. Thank you guys so much for supporting me and making it possible for me to do this kind of original research, as much as I groan when I have to do it 3 times in a row, because I keep thinking of ways to do it better and ways that you're going to complain that I didn't do it good enough. But then at times like this, when I get all the results out, it's all worth it. And I know all you guys really appreciate it, and you tell me so in the comments. I really appreciate that. If you can think of any ways that I could have done this better, or any ways that I screwed this up, then shut up. Happy flying.